汉字的种类 types of Chinese characters. In this section, you will see that not all Chinese characters are just pictures like Egyptian hieroglyphics. There are several different ways that Chinese characters are formed, and we will detail the most common of them in this video. The first type of Chinese character is called xiang xing. Xiang xing, 字 literally form imitation. These characters are pictographs, meaning they are like Egyptian hieroglyphics in a way. They represent what they mean in their shape. There are roughly 600 Chinese characters that are pictographs. Pictographs are stylized drawings of the objects that they represent. Only 600, this is a very small minority, but these characters are generally among the oldest of Chinese characters. Altogether, it's debatable how many Chinese characters there are. There are many, many Chinese characters that are no longer in use, but that were popular hundreds or even thousands of years ago. Estimates range from 30 to 50,000. Of course, you'll never need to know all of these. It's typically agreed that a college graduate from China can read anywhere between 3,000 and 5,000 characters, with 5,000 being on the high end. Here's our first example of a pictographic character. This character is pronounced and it means sun or day. The original pictograph during Bronze Age China looked like this, and we can see the evolution of the character all the way to the present character, which you see on the bottom. Let's go ahead and write the character together. First we have a shu, followed by a heng, zhe, go. Now before we close the box, do the middle, heng, and the bottom, heng, Another example of a pictographic character is ren, or a person. The original form and how it evolved over time until the final version that is written today. Let's go ahead and write the character ren, pie, and start slightly higher than the middle of the character na, from left to right. Another example of a pictographic character is nü, which means woman. This is Jiagu 1, the original tortoise shell script. Originally, Chinese characters, before China even existed, were written on tortoise shells and the scapula bones from cows and were used for divination. Not the characters were used for divination, but the bones, the way that the bones cracked when they were heated in a fire was used for divination. Now that we've arrived at the final form, let's write this character together. First we have pie, zhe, and a horizontal, heng, and finally pie, nü. Another example of a pictograph is huo, or fire. Here we have the Jiagu 1 pictograph, and here's how it evolved into the modern version. in modern Chinese, pictographic characters, 象形字, are less common than the other types, but you often see them as components of more complicated characters. So oftentimes you'll see this final version of 火 as part of a more complicated character on the side. So this 火 would be the right or the left-hand side of the character, and over here we'd have more. These are called radicals when you have a pictographic character as a component part of another character. We'll learn about radicals in a moment. Another example of a pictograph is yang, or sheep, goat, or ram. The original 甲骨文 pictograph. And let's write this one together. Start in the upper left-hand corner, 点, 撇, and now we'll work our way from top to bottom. 横, 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 all of the horizontal strokes before the vertical. 竖,